I'm excited to be here because Delton's work with the Global Carbon Reward provides the kind of mechanism that we need to begin to mobilize capital at the scale that's needed to decarbonize. Like many people, I was intrigued to read about this first in the science fiction novel by Kim Stanley Robinson, Ministry of the Future. Since then, the Global Carbon Reward team with Dr. Chen has been developing this idea. But the basic challenge, of course, is that we do need to mobilize trillions of dollars annually to get the level of investment that we need for decarbonization. We have not been able to do this through conventional fiscal policy mechanisms in any kind of coordination around the world. Even the IRA in the United States is not generating the kind of capital that's really needed to stabilize the climate. In this case, let's say Chevron would be getting the carbon coins in exchange for sort of turning over the rights to their oil leases in the Ecuadorian rainforests to some authority. But in addition, they would have to use those coins to build out some kind of renewable energy infrastructure.
I think it's plausible. It's simply a case that when governments sit around a table and they discuss this policy, they're going to realize that it takes the cost off their balance sheet. So fiscally, for a government, with this approach, they get the relief from their central bank without having to have their central bank actually work too hard. That's the secret, because they are creating market sentiment. They're influencing sentiment and demand through the CQE. You see, the trick here is not the CQE. It's what CQE does psychologically to the market. Exactly. Now, if the private sector buys it, then the government's going to be very happy because that's what they want to do. They want the private sector to pay for a lot of this, and then the CQE can pick up the rest.
Mobilizing capital in a conventional way, either through the private sector responding to profit incentives or through government fiscal policy, is not getting us where we need to be. And time is short. We know that. We have, 20, 30 years to rapidly decarbonize. So we need a new financial mechanism. And this one, technically, I find very appealing. I don't see the holes in the argument, although there's no increased taxes, no one is actually sort of no individuals are sort of bearing the cost of this. It's really just a reallocation through capital markets of existing capital flows. The pilot that you propose, I think, is a fabulous sort of first step. There's urgency. We need to get the pilot done in a few years' time so that when the appetite grows for this kind of a policy, it will be ready to roll.